Thank you for stopping by my channel, and welcome to my universe. What is up, guys? It's your boy Heck Philly, and this is going to be a little bit different. This is going to be not video games, but for anybody who likes video games, I think you'll find this cool. There's no participation in this, but it's a real life feat that real life scientists are taking on right now. And I'm watching it live, and I decided, you know what? I'm just going to put it up on my channel. What's happening is there's a place on Mars where scientists think that there could be ancient life in this spot. There are these craters that show evidence of having lakes and streams that lead to the lakes in ancient times. And those could have been very good places for ancient microorganisms. What they're doing is they've sent this big, fancy, heavy rover to Mars, and what we're going to do right now is watch it land live. And everybody's nervous about it. I'm nervous about it. So I don't know, I'm gonna fast forward to when we get there. I'll see you when we get there.
We're off on a good start.
In about 1 minute, Perseverance's landing software will wake up and begin the final preparations for entry. The first action it will do is to fire warm-up pulses with its entry thrusters. These pulses ensure that the spacecraft gets the thrust that it wants during entry interface. We're about 9 minutes from entry interface.
Okay. 9 minutes from entry interface.
Okay, so now the vehicle's on its own. It's turning itself into the direction of facing the heat shield toward Mars, and will eventually hitting the top of the atmosphere. We're not far away. This is going to go very quickly.
And then they're going to give us like this little simulation as the real time what it's going to look like. So it's important to realize that this is not
as it passed through our beam to the Earth.
Telecom indicated actually that we could see a signal that the cruise stage went between the Perseverance entry capsule and Earth. So we saw a little blip, the data stream indicating the cruise stage separation. We have confirmation that the vehicle has started warming up those entry thrusters.
Oh,
More
nice.
pulses have begun.
Nice. We get a little timer too. You know, astrophysicists, anybody,
At
these
this point,
rocket
the spacecraft
scientists
is
are
trying to
precise with
stop
it.
its spin from the cruise 2 revolutions per minute
I'm
down
gonna
to
let
0.
you listen. I need to
and
get
then
some
will
water.
to its desired orientation from entry. It will separate the 2 balance masses that has kept it balanced during all of cruise. This will allow the entry capsule to have lift when it enters the atmosphere. We have confirmation that the spacecraft has turned to the desired entry attitude. We're about 7.5 minutes from entry interface.
Okay, the vehicle is pointed in the right direction. The thrusters are warmed up and doing their job. And now we've spun down from 2 revolutions per minute that the vehicle had the whole way to Mars as a spin-stabilized spacecraft. And then from here on out, it's going to just be a bullet and can control its orientation and attitude via rockets on the back of that back shell.
Points carrier lock. Sorry, the DTE from Radio Science from Green Bank reports carrier lock. You see the carrier on the downlink.
Flight level 1.
We are continuing to wait for entry interface. We're about 6 minutes and 45 seconds from entry interface. We have confirmation from Greenback that they are receiving direct-to-Earth telemetry via that path. The spacecraft Perseverance is currently transmitting heartbeat tones. These tones indicate that Perseverance is operating normally and has nothing significant to report. This is as expected. We're currently just over 6 minutes from entry interface.
I'm gonna try not to talk over them because I ain't gonna be able to explain it to you
Okay.
better than they.
And now we wait.
So we're waiting.
As soon as we get to the top of the atmosphere, it'll be very quickly, which is the entry point. It won't be very long before the atmosphere will start getting thicker and thicker. It's going very quickly at a fairly steep angle of 15 degrees into the atmosphere. And as it starts to slow down.
We're just under, we're about 5.5 minutes from entry interface. We're still receiving heartbeat tones. We expect to continue receiving heartbeat tones until about 5 minutes after entry. At that time, Perseverance will be no longer in view of our antennas here on Earth. About 90 seconds prior to entry, the Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter should begin receiving telemetry from Perseverance and streaming it to Earth in near real time. There are a few expected short outages, such as when we have a plasma blackout or when we enter the peak heating phase. Aside from these outages caused by the plasma blackout, antenna switching, or high dynamic events, spacecraft events, we should have telemetry until about 90 seconds after landing. A plasma blackout is when the signal from Perseverance isn't strong enough to make it through the superheated, super fast air flowing around the spacecraft all the way down to Earth. Once the temperature drops below that peak heating, we do reacquire the signal from Perseverance. We are currently about 4.5 minutes from entry interface. Perseverance continues to report heartbeat tones, indicating everything is nominal.
Okay, what we're looking for now is Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter should be in view soon of our vehicle and be able to listen to ones and zeros coming from a separate radio that's really designed to talk between spacecraft.
MRO reports the Electra radio is powered on, ready to receive signals from the lander.
Okay, MRO is ready and able and waiting for to hear from our rover.
Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter has reported that it's ready to receive the signals from Perseverance. It should be in a few minutes here. We're just
flight level 1.
So many years of work put into this. So many years of testing.
We don't need these ones and zeros, as Swati said, but to land safely. But we really need it for our own
anxiety,
health and well-being today, to keep our nerves in control. But
around this time, our second spacecraft, Maven, should begin picking up telemetry from Perseverance, and will continue to record that telemetry until several minutes post-landing. We won't get that data for several hours after landing, as it's being recorded, and then will be forwarded to Earth later. We are continuing to receive heartbeat tones, indicating that everything is nominal. We're currently at about 3 minutes until entry interface.
Okay. The entry interface is nothing more than just an arbitrary place in the sky that we've defined to be above the atmosphere. But from that point on, there's definitely atmosphere.
Look at the time, y'all.
Above it, there isn't.
We are 2 minutes from entry interface. Perseverance is to transmit heartbeat tones, indicating everything is nominal.
Really need some whiskey right now for this.
So the tones can tell us whether something is bad or not is happening. So far the heartbeat is doing well. So the vehicle thinks it's in good shape to land, which is a great sign.
You hear how he's breathing? He is shook. He is anxious, man. This is so many years of work for these people. So many.
We're just under 2 minutes from entry interface. As it gets closer to Mars, Perseverance is actually being pulled in by gravity and accelerating. By the time Perseverance reaches entry interface point, she should be going just under 5.4 kilometers per second. We're at about 90 seconds from entry interface and standing by for Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter to pick up the telemetry.
My heart is. Whew. Look at it, guys. Look at the time down there. Down there. Look at the time.
We are 1 minute
The
from
drama.
entry interface.
MROs are in receive mode.
We have confirmation that the Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter is now relaying data from Perseverance. We're about 30 seconds from entry interface. Perseverance is going about 5.2 kilometers per second and is about 190 kilometers altitude above the surface of Mars.
Confirm UHF data flow.
Look at that. I just want to look at this, guys. Or at least sides.
About seconds from entry interface. 5.3 kilometers per second and an altitude of about 150 kilometers from the surface of Mars.
I think I'm in the way. Hold on.
0.3 kilometers per second at an altitude of about 120 kilometers from the surface of Mars. The
Oh.
spacecraft is now waiting until it begins feeling the atmosphere of Mars to slow it down. Once there is enough atmosphere, it will start controlling its path to the landing target.
I feel like I can feel everybody's anxiety heightening.
Navigation is also confirming that we can see a little bit of that slowdown of the atmosphere on the Perseverance entry capsule.
They've tested this so many times,
Our
and
current
the fact that
velocity is
everything's
about
working the right way is
5.36
relieving them more and
kilometers per
more.
second and an altitude of about 67 kilometers from the surface.
We are probably seeing MRO plasma blackout at this point.
Watching them wear masks make me want to put mine on. I feel like I'm right there with them.
The vehicle should be doing its turns right now.
MRO has lost lock.
Perseverance. We have indications that Perseverance is now performing bank reversals in the atmosphere. These are the steps in order to control its distance to the landing target. Perseverance has just passed through the point of maximum deceleration and has indicated that it felt approximately
That just made me
10
nervous for some
Earth
reason.
G's of deceleration.
MRO has lock again.
So that's where we're headed, right there.
We saw
That-
a small outage of the UHF telemetry from Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter during that peak heating phase, likely caused by the plasma blackout. Perseverance is still continuing to perform bank reversals in the atmosphere to control its distance to the landing target.
The drama, the excitement. Yo, if something
Perseverance
happens,
is going
man, I'm
about
not posting
1
this.
kilometers per second at an altitude of about 16 kilometers from the surface of Mars. We have entered heading alignment, which means Perseverance is no longer trying to control the distance to Mars, to the target on Mars, but instead is flying straight to the target.
Parachute.
Oh, there she
Our
goes.
current velocity is about 550
There goes
meters
the
per
crater.
second at an altitude of
There
about
goes the
15
landing
kilometers
spot.
from the surface.
All right, come on.
MRO's reporting good telemetry lock.
We are coming upon the straighten up. We are starting the straighten up and fly right maneuver, where the spacecraft will jettison the entry balance masses in preparation for parachute deploy and to roll over to give the radar a better look at the ground.
Yes, yes, yes.
The navigation has confirmed that the parachute has deployed, and we are seeing significant deceleration.
All right. Parachute's
in the
out.
velocity. Our current velocity is.
They were waiting for
450
that.
meters per
That
second
that
at
was
an
the
altitude
first
of about 12
anxiety.
kilometers from the surface of Mars.
That was the first anxiety. So parachute has deployed. I mean, that's that. Think about it. That
Perseverance is
is
now slowed to subsonic speeds, and the heat shield has been separated. This allows both the radar and the cameras to get their first look at the surface. Current velocity is 145 meters per second at an altitude of about 9.5 kilometers above the surface.
now we got to get the rover onto the ground because the capsule it is in. It's in that capsule.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Perseverance now has radar lock on the ground. Current velocity is about 100 meters per second, 6.6 kilometers of the surface.
Oh, shoot.
Perseverance is continuing to descend on the parachute. We are coming up on the initialization of terrain relative navigation and subsequently the priming of the landing engines. Our current velocity is about 90 meters per second at an altitude of 4.2 kilometers. We have confirmation that the lander vision system has produced a valid solution and part of terrain relative navigation. We have timing of the landing engines. Current velocity is 83 meters per second at about 2.6 kilometers from the surface of Mars.
Now they got to get
confirmation that the back shell has separated. We are currently performing the divert maneuver. Current velocity is about 75 meters per second at an altitude of about a kilometer off the surface of Mars.
TRN Safety Bravo.
We have completed our terrain relative navigation.
Now we got to get the rover on the ground.
30 meters per second, altitude of about 300 meters off the surface of Mars. We have started our constant velocity accordion, which means we are conducting the sky crane, about to conduct the sky crane maneuver.
We've lost direct-to-earth tones.
As expected.
This is the most. Oh, look, there it goes.
About 20 meters off the surface.
20 meters. There it goes. That's touchdown, right?
We're getting signals from MRO.
That's touchdown, right? It's on Mars.
Touchdown confirmed. Perseverance safely on the surface of Mars.
Oh, that's a good scene.
And seeking the sands of past life.
That is a good scene. Wow. The chills.
At this point, the descent stage has flown away to a safe distance. Perseverance is continuing to transmit direct through Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter to Earth.
They're literally screaming at this point. She's screaming. Oh, man.
MRO reports they're still getting telemetry from the lander.
All right, all stations.
Listen to him. He's going to have someone get him to the hospital.